So welcome to day 145 of scaling my marketing agency to 10k a month. Today has been like one of probably the most positive days, like recently in the last month. You'll see that essentially a lot of the videos have had the same kind of theme in the last month or so, which has been, it's been a month since I left my part-time job. Or just over, I think, actually, just like a few days over a month now. And obviously, like, naturally, that's like a period of change, and everything like that. And I think because I started seeing really good results and, things paying off with the agency from there, it meant that, essentially I started thinking, oh God, like, imagine when I leave this, imagine how it flies off. And then, like all of these things, naturally, like different problems arise. Me not being at the part-time job, initially, naturally you find other ways of kind of, I don't know, like wasting that time, I guess, or, maybe not even like waste is the right word, but you just find there's like other challenges that come up when, there's one big event in your life, and there's other things that pop up during your journey, and it's there as a test. I firmly believe that these things that occurred for me in terms of quit my job, everything seems to be going well, and then my service is really tested, my personal like abilities and what I'm doing with the business is tested, like massively so, and then on top of that, like it starts to eat at my mental health, and that starts to be challenged. And so, like at different levels of the game, essentially, there's just different challenges and little things that catches you out and makes you think, oh, like so annoying. I felt like so close, and then that pops up. Like, what's going on? But the truth about it is that they're exactly as I just described. They're tests, they're little challenges and obstacles to go along like the way that you just don't, like, you can't see coming, because that's the whole point of them. They're there to test, is this really what you want? Is this what you can achieve? And a lot of the time it tends to be the case that when you're being tested like that, it's because you're not quite ready to get to what exactly it is, in terms of if it's numbers or just some specific outcome you're looking for in your growth journey. The reason you can't hit it is because there might be something there that's stopping you from doing that, and the test is there to essentially put you against, okay, am I actually ready for this, and is this what is coming for me, or is there something beyond that I need to be tested on, which means whether I can continue on this road or not. For me, it was the fact that some of the foundations were just built on kind of sticks, in a sense, like they weren't built properly. Like my service was okay, but then it was a case of, oh, but at scale, can you consistently do that at scale? And then the answer was, well, no, because of X, Y, and Z. And you start thinking to yourself, okay, well, what is all of those reasons? And it's just like different tests. You go through it and think, oh God, like now I've started doing a bit better for myself, and I'm getting more sales come through the door. Then I realise at scale, clients aren't going to be best happy because I'm not delivering the best service at scale. So then you work out, okay, how do I make sure I do that at scale? And then you can take on more sales as time goes on. So it's all mainly a mental game, because there's all these like operational things in terms of, like, for me, the reason for my slow growth has actually been mental. But what I make it seem like is, oh, my things is sales, it's conversion rate, it's the fact that I don't have a good setter on, that working on my team, that's doing the things I need them to do. And all of those things are like actually true, like in terms of what are my constraints of the business at the minute. Like today, for example, I had a sales call, perfect type of client, but it's gone to follow up because they just didn't get that certainty from the call that they shouldn't continue to shop around, because I wasn't giving them that certainty. I wasn't able to clearly show to them or work through their objections to say to them, you know, if you do believe in this service like you say you do, then what, you know, go into that a bit further and, you know, make sure, like, if they feel certain about the fact that they can get to where you say they can and where they want to be, then there's no reason to, you know, shop around, have another call, whatever, with someone else. So yeah, I think on the whole, like, it's all learning. And then the other thing with clients is the conversion rate. So like, me generating leads for them consistently at a good cost and everything like that is like really good. Like, I haven't had an issue with the lead gen at all. My issue is the appointment setting. So I had like a Filipino VA doing it, who, you know, like, I acted like it was incredibly cheap, because obviously their essential, like, their time is like, you know, what is it, like fucking £3 something an hour, £3.75 an hour. But what I didn't take into account is the fact that, you know, the results that they can deliver just aren't worth like any money whatsoever. So then it becomes a problem of, well, you know, why am I paying over 300 quid a month or whatever to work part-time when she's not delivering any results and my clients are still really unhappy? Like, that's obviously a complete waste of money. So I cut her out and then started looking into more setters now, like around, can I, in the first 90 days, put them on like 500 quid a month base and then give them part of the deposits and stuff like this. So then it was like, well, yes, I can do that. And then they're, you know, very much incentivized to do that. And get more deposit pay consultations, and they'll be English, and, you know, then it's like, okay, so I now, you know, fix this constraint, fix this problem. And it's like, all of it then starts to become a lot more manageable when you start thinking about it more kind of objectively and not worrying about it too much. Let me just flip this around. Look how fucking beautiful this is with the sun going down over there. It's incredible. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like, when you start breaking it down like this, it sounds great and it seems like there's nothing to fucking worry about, but I got myself in like a mental state essentially where everything felt like it was crashing down, and the more it felt like it was crashing down, the more I was internalizing how bad everything was supposedly going, and my identity, like some of the bad parts of my identity started coming out, where I felt like I wasn't like achieving what I should. I wasn't being like a good partner. I wasn't being a good business owner. I wasn't being a good boss by not giving her the right training and then sacking her. Wasn't, you know, and like all these identities and you know, what am I even saying? The identity you have of yourself and the beliefs that you hold around yourself are so crucial when you're doing stuff like this. You know, to the point of, I just got up from Birmingham, from my girlfriend's house, and just left, because I was like, I need to get better, you know, and I'm going to do some therapy work to see if, you know, that can help me too. But I think on the whole, a lot of it is down to, like, you know, yourself, and just, you know, if you put a good day's work in and you know that you've confronted the, you know, the devil, you know, the demons or whatever that you have, and you know you've done an honest, good day, hard day's graft, and then things all of a sudden feel a lot easier. And yeah, I think like that's been the main thing recently, is it's been mental challenges. And I was kind of speaking to, so the main two things that happened today was I had that sales call in the afternoon, and then in the morning I had in the morning I had, is it not looking at me properly? Yeah, in the morning I had a meeting with my mentor, which was great because I hadn't technically paid for that one, but it was very lovely and giving me like an extra half hour, 45 minutes, much appreciated, so that I could talk through some like last things that I had questions around, of like, how do I find a setter? Is lead quality for my clients an issue? Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, essentially got all those answered, and it's like when you start confronting all of these things, everything feels a lot better, and like you can move forward from it so much easier. Because like for him, like the same challenges are there, but then it's just at like a much higher scale. Because like he was telling me about the fact that, you know, there's still days where he wakes up with like extreme anxiety to do things, and towards the business, and like, yeah, he's earning like amazing amounts of money, but what comes with that is he wants to scale, start getting, you know, a setter and a closer, make them full time, get multiple of them, stuff like this. It's like, you know, fucking hell, the outgoings are crazy, like a, you know, over a year's salary at his previous job in a month to go out in you know, ad spend, salaries, expenses, etc. And obviously, the more you want to go up, like, the more discomfort and things like that you have to face at the end of the day. Because, like he was saying in one of his videos, you can stay at 10, 15k and be like the kind of like solopreneur, and like, I mean, for most people, including me right now, that sounds like amazing. But ultimately, me included, wouldn't want to stay there. You always want growth in life, and I think that's also the part that, when I was speaking to my friends before, it's like a massive difference between people essentially, is a lot of people think that, where am I going with this? Like, a lot of people think, well, if I was like in your position, I was owning a business like that and earning that money, I would just kind of, you know, once I got to like 10, 15k a month, whatever, maybe even less for some people, like 5 to 7, I just like kind of leave it there. You know, once I'm able to put like 5 to 7 grand in my account, so maybe they are doing 10 to 15 and they're able to put 7 grand in their account every month, and, you know, leave it as it is. A lot of people just stop there, but the thing I was explaining to my friends as well is that if you were somebody, if like, because obviously like you are, if you're somebody like that, that's also part of the reason for why you don't like have any of that in the first place. And I was trying to explain this idea of the reason why someone's able to get to the 10k in the first place is because they have that constant growth and desire to like expand like on their life, etc., at the core of it that got them there in the first place, which also means as a byproduct that they're not just going to stop there. So if you think of it being so far away, like the 10, 15k a month being like crazy, then all of a sudden you start to think, oh fucking hell, like it seems like such a big challenge in the first place, and you don't do the things necessary to get there anyway. So yeah, there's loads of different like fucking ideas around stuff like this. Now just walked into like a weed, like stinging that one in. But yeah, I think like, yeah, overall, like I was saying, the biggest challenge at the minute has been all related to the mental side of things. I got to a point where essentially for the last month I just desperately wanted to quit, and if I couldn't quit on the business, so I wanted to quit on everything and not, you know, just live like a fucking little turtle or something, like crawled up in bed, because that's all I wanted to do. But obviously what I realised is I had to go back to the core of it, of like why I started this, why I put myself in these challenges, and what it means for like my future, and how I can get like where I want essentially. And you know, every single day I'm going to keep fighting those battles, and like over time you start to look at this area, by the way, it's lovely. But every single day I'm going to continue to fight those battles essentially, and eventually things will start to go better. I'll finish this challenge with these videos of 10k a month, and then I'll start to think about, loads of bugs around here, I'll start to think, what are the next challenges, what are the next things that I can go to, because something that my dad said in the past is that the problem is that people, like, they never know when to stop, and they're never like fulfilled by it. Like as soon as you hit the 10k, you'll be wanting to get to 20, and you know, off it goes from there. I think the main thing that he's missing is that is like the fun of it at the end of the day, like that journey, like moving forward. And like now I've started to get to that point where I'm realizing like these are what I'm in now, the challenges every day, like these are the good old days. So like, I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as possible from like today essentially, because yeah, like you don't get, not many people in the world get or like think of doing this and take the opportunity that's given to you by the internet, by being able to speak and communicate in English, I don't know, and build something of your own. Not many people do that, and kind of there's so much money out there, and to just direct couple 10,000 or a couple of 100,000 even a month is like nothing in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, just I think over time, just me realising that, and me over time realising that more and more and more, it just means that I've just kind of settled on the fact that I will always be moving forward, and it in some ways it might never be enough in terms of I just wouldn't want to stop like ever. Like even once a business gets to a certain point, you just kind of, even if you feel like you've hit a cap there, you just keep growing, start another business, whatever it is, and you just do what the hell you want, and keep growing, because that is what like humans naturally want, I suppose. But yeah, like I don't know. I think right now in this second, I'm just kind of grateful and happy that for the first time in a while, I feel more at peace. I feel happier, because I feel optimistic about the future. And the only reason I'm like that is because I've seen what the worst of me, in a sense, looks like. Not the worst of me, but the worst of how I can get if I let these things get to me. And yeah, I just kind of accepted again and again, and accepted kind of for like a final time in a way that I'm not going to give up on this. I'm not going to let those challenges get to me ultimately. And so because that's the case, there's nothing to do but to work every day to get there, because that's what I love doing, and that's what's fun, is those challenges and being able to create a life of independence and everything that comes with it. So yeah, that is day 145 for you. I'll leave it there after a long 20 minutes of recording this, but there we are.